Okay, I think I am recording. Yes, there we are. Hello, family, and welcome back to the Day Village. It's Mrs. Day all day. I have been missing you guys. Let's just put it like that. But we are back. We're back on track. And the reason I wanted to come in today and drop in the village and drop a bit of a story time and share with you all my vegan journey. Okay? It has been a extraordinary one, and we just celebrated 1 year, myself and my husband. But before we get into all that, please, I would love it if you would just click and subscribe down low, click that like button and the notification bell so you'll know every time that we drop new videos. And we're going to actually drop at least 2 per week, because we're going to do one during midweek, and we're going to do a Savage X Saturday where we'll be doing some type of lookbook or something related to my awesome Savage X sissy Rihanna, and rocking some of her awesome pieces as well. So with that out of the way, please hit that like button. I would love to have you be a part of the family, and it is free. Doesn't cost you anything. So without further ado, this is what brought me to this point. I, as I mentioned, have been a vegan for 1 year and about a year and a month, right? Myself and my husband, we went vegan September 8th of 2019. That actually was our wedding date, right? That's our wedding date. I wish I had my album. I flash a picture. Oh, actually, here's the invitation. Look at that. This was our wedding invitation, right? So it was September 8th, over a year ago, when my husband and I both went vegan. And when I tell you, I can't even say it was overnight. It was in an afternoon. Okay, let's just put it out there. But before we dive into the story, I need to give you a bit of background. Okay, where shall we start? Okay. So you'll know how significant this is in my life. And even I'm sure my husband shocked himself as well. But okay, I currently am 57 years young. But within those 57 years, guys, I have had some serious health situations. And I mean major. From fibroid tumors two times. First time they were on the outside, I had to have a surgery called a myomectomy. Second time they came back 2 years later. It was a massive situation. I had to then, and it's going to be too TMI, but I need to let you know, and I am very transparent. I told you guys I would be, but to know exactly how extreme this was for me. That initial myomectomy I had to get massive fibroids out from around me in my internal organs that are sitting on my uterus, actually. The second one, I ended up having to have a partial hysterectomy because the fibroids were back. They were back within a 2-year period. They were back again. So I had to go, make decisions about that. I had to go forward and do that and move on, because this was like really getting to be a situation now, back to back sets of massive tumors in a 2-year window. So then fast forward, needless to say, some of the other situations that I end up having, and I am actually going to do another story time about how I had found out that I had diagnosed the lump. The Lord had discovered it for me and revealed it to me, of my breast cancer tumor that I had in my breast. And I had a brain tumor. There was a tumor sitting in the center of my brain, sitting on my pituitary gland. So that was another tumor that I had. Now, prior to my breast cancer stint in 2010, my mother I went back to Missouri, got my mom. My mom moved out to California with me. I was a caregiver for her last 10 years of her life. We just had a ball. But 2 years, I believe in 2008 or in 2009, my mom at 75 years old contracted breast cancer. So all of a sudden we found the breast cancers in my mom. And thank God she didn't have to have chemotherapy, but she had the radiation, right? So she had to go through radiation. So I had to help her and nurse her through that. And my mom was a registered nurse for 28 years. So I'm telling you, when it came down to the decision and times of what needed to be done and what happened, my mom was just straight away, okay, let's do this. Let's get this radiation in. Let's do it, and so forth. But she wasn't happy with her surgeon at all. I need to say that as well. But it wasn't about the surgery, it was about she survived it. But needless to say, I didn't know how God was preparing me, because less than 2 years later, at 45 years old, there I was. My mom's been diagnosed and survived at 75. And here I was 2 years later, 45, diagnosed and prepared for that as well. Had an awesome surgeon. Shout out to Dr. Stunts in Monterey, California. Awesome surgeon. I mean, to the fact to where he even broke it down to me to explain to me how breast cancer can form in your body. So went through that surgery. I praise God. I had just had a myomectomy. Did not have to have a full mastectomy, but he went in and biopsied it out and cut the cancer out without having to do a full mastectomy on me, and no cancer was in my lymph nodes, praise God. So all of that was going on. So to be at 45 years old, and at that point, I'm thinking about, after all the brain tumor, the cancers and everything, I might have been at like the 50-year-old mark at that point. And mind you now, I've been a diabetic for 20 years. From the time I had come out to California, I had got diagnosed the second year, and I had been in California for 32 years. So almost a 30-year mark. Now that I think about that, I've been saying 20 years, but almost a 30-year mark of being a diabetic. So, okay, now that brings us current to 2019. Here in our home, my husband and I are not, decided we weren't going out. We were not going to hit the road for our anniversary, but we were going to just stay in the house and chill. And we were chilling, and I'm looking out. And if you see me looking down, because I wrote a couple of notes here, family, so bear with me, okay? And while we're doing that, click and subscribe, okay? And I'm gonna have my husband throw up some fluffy pictures of me too, pre-vegan days. But okay, so that's September the 8th of 2019. I'm sitting there stumbling through YouTube, and I fall onto What the Health. What the Health, Health. When I tell people this, they think I'm saying what the hell. But I guess you could say what the hell after you watch it and you see what this government is doing to us and our bodies through the dairy industry and into the dirty meat industry. I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do. I'm telling you what I discovered for my life, okay? How my life changed. So in that moment that we discovered What the Health, my husband, let me just tell you this about King Alex, one of the biggest meat eaters, just loved his food and his meat. And I'm telling you, he liked that, I almost said the bloody steaks, you know, when the blood is oozing out of it. Oh, and he loved good food and prime rib and what's that? And just all good food. My husband was a good food connoisseur and went to nice restaurants in Carmel. He just loved his food, right? But he loved meat. And after we watched What the Health in an afternoon, did you guys hear what I'm saying? I say in an afternoon, we were converted to the vegan life in the afternoon. And I say all that to say this, and this part alone right through here, I'm going to try not to get emotional, because not only was I seeing how the Susan G. Komen Foundation with the breast cancer, how all of that is just, it was just, I'm calling it a game. This is how I see it. I see it as a game, because I used to always wonder, how long are we going to chase this cure? When are we going to catch it? We just been chasing it for a long time, but it's never been caught. And a lot of money involved and all of this science. And what is the deal with that? But once you watch that documentary, you form an opinion for yourself. But nevertheless, I digress. So as I'm coming to the understanding of that, all of this stuff, okay, so now my mom is a recovering breast cancer survivor. She's thriving. I'm getting her through that. But we're all in this low-fat diet kind of realm, right? We're just going to eat the low-fat and drink the low-fat milk and all of that. But when you watch that documentary, you understand why humans are the only mammal that drinks another mammal's milk. How crazy is that? No other mammal on the earth. You don't see bears drinking tiger's milk. Why would a human drink a cow's milk? We're not calves. So anyway, you can see how all that plays out. But anyway, that struck a chord in me because from being very young, I was obsessed with milk. I loved it. I absorbed it, all manner of dairy and pork and the cows and all of it, right? Praise God, I never got caught up in any of the E. coli outbreaks because they are very real. But so anyway, when I looked at all of this and I saw how even with the Susan G, like I mentioned, on their websites and talking all this falsehoods and everything, that I felt very convicted and somewhat defeated because here I was feeding my mom some of the very dairy products that had gotten us into this place in the beginning. But see, what something Maya Angelou always said, when you know better, then you do better. So I had to take that approach. But for a while, immediately following watching that video and watching how the government really used me and my mom and didn't have any care or concern for us or our health because it's all about the money, I wept. And it just hurt my heart. But the Lord had to console me and let me know, when you know better, then you do better. So anyway, so for me and my husband, in the instant, we changed that day. And it was just like, wow. And my husband loves to cook. But see, this is where the journey was not. Well, I know that I am recording and I know the devil is a liar because the video just cut off in the square middle. But anyway, this will be the part 2. So when the situation with us transitioning that rapidly. And like I said, I am so blessed because my husband is an awesome cook. Okay. I call him my super chef. He loves to cook. It brings him joy. Right now, he is in the kitchen right now making a vegan banana bread pound cake. Okay. Oh, it's a banana bread, but it comes out like a pound cake. Okay. So I say all that to say this, that he loves to cook. And so we were looking to go getting into the fresh vegetables. He loves it. We're sauteing stuff, and that we do eat some of the processed foods. The vegan family right now with the Beyond beef, we got the crumble, there's the spicy sausages. I mean, and you don't eat that every day, but I mean, people think that people in the vegan world are over here sucking rocks. But we are not. We are living a joyful life. And let me show you something. My husband going to insert some of my fluffy pictures somewhere along here. But at my highest weight, I was weighing 237, okay? But over the course of the last year and a half, I know I dropped about 45, 50 pounds, and 20 of them before that when I really started taking things seriously. But this is what the vegan life has got me. I'm at a size 12, a size 10, 12 right now. I had to send some 12s back. So I'm going to claim that 10, okay? I'm going to claim that. But it's just got a different, my whole outlook on life and everything is so different right now that the vegan journey has saved my life, okay? I'm no longer a diabetic. Okay, so let me stop rambling. But I need to mention this part. So, because I noticed that a lot of people are struggling in their homes with their vegan journeys because it could be the wife could be one and the husband not, or the husband be the vegan and the wife be not. But the blessing in our home is that we both converted at the same time. But at any rate, whichever one of you, the husband or the wife that is the vegan, still you be that example and you keep going and then you keep trying those awesome recipes. And that's one of the things that my husband and I are going to produce is our vegan cookbooks. Okay, because he's the bow tie vegan and I am the vegan Nubian queen. Okay. So I'm going to do my top 10 recipes, which mine are so simple and easy. My super salads, my quesadillas, chili, my tacos. One of my favorite breakfasts is oatmeal with raisins and berries and brown sugar. That's when I put sugar in that oatmeal, little sprinkle. My waffles and sausage. I'm so many of I'm going to do 10, my top 10 recipes. So to let people know that it is okay and we are not starving. We are not dying.